And who? That's cute.
Who is that though? Who's the left?
I want to know what our options are besides Beto O'Rourke, Kamala Harris, and Gavin
That name
Newsom.
was kind of Hispanic, huh?
No, that name was kind of Polish.
Okay, I
mean, Hispanic flavor on there. I heard that.
Okay, I mean, honestly, I don't know if Beto's going to run 2028. I hope he does.
I hope he doesn't.
I hope he does.
that man has a stench of failure. Is he going to do another? He's going to do another magazine cover.
Dan, I know who you want to run. You want Pete Buttigieg to run.
Yes, he does. Say it,
yes.
Dude. You want Pete Buttigieg, dude. Our king of transportation.
Because a white man is electable, even if he's gay. As long as
that's a good question. That's a good question. Who's more electable, Pete or Kamala? That's a good question.
Oh, shit.
Joe Biden originally said that I'm a transitional candidate. I'm only going to be like a one-term president. You know, I'm nominating Kamala Harris. That's an implied successor type of thing. Every time we see him stumble and mess up on something, every time we see a political miscalculation that Kamala Harris is not, a socialist savior, but she's also to the left of Joe Biden and ran to the left of Joe Biden in the Democratic primary in 2020. Whenever Kamala Harris is out doing something, that little girl was me, Bam. Whenever Kamala Harris is out doing some like horrible side mission that gets made up fun of Fox News for a while, Bam has a light now. Amazing. That's cool. Whenever Kamala Harris does some like weird little side mission like this, it's all these other things I've just like listed out are a reminder that Kamala Harris has been decided by the powers that be in the Democratic Party. Not right now, not this time. You would get clobbered by Donald Trump. Is it because she's a black woman?
Yes.
I mean, it's certainly not a bonus for her.
Dan, white people in America hate black people more than you.
Yeah, especially black women in this country.
Okay, here's a question. What do you think a liberal white woman would risk their life for more?
Trump.
No. Kamala Harris or Stray Dog?
Stupid.
I'm going Stray Dog as not a liberal white woman.
No, I'm kind of saying
VP?
That's the point. Because the obvious answer is going to be a Stray Dog.
A VP?
And I think that answer is going to be true for like a lot of non-white women too, on all sides of the spectrum.
Teacher.
I think, the Democrats are going with Joe Biden because they're like, oh, he won one time, so shit. Like,
I honestly don't know who we talked about this before. I feel like if there was going to be somebody else running right now, they had to like put their bid in the day after the election. Like,
they had to start getting it cracking.
You had to go hard right away.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know who it could have been, to be honest with you. Like, I mean, Kamala just doesn't have a chance.
The argument at the time was that, Democrats outperformed their expectations in the midterms. Roe v. Wade was something they were kind of riding the coattails off of. And so it was this idea that, okay, Biden's steering the ship really well. We did the whole thing a couple months ago where it seemed like before the State of the Union address, like Ezra Klein, stuck his neck out and got chopped in the New York Times when he said that, I really think that we should start to draft Kamala Harris, and because Biden is too senile and he's like not going to stand a chance against Donald Trump. And then he performed well at the State of the Union, and everyone's like, oh, Ezra Klein's a dummy. Like, we can't do this. Like, we're just going to put all these things to bed. And then you have moments like this in the debate where it's like, okay, the thing Ezra Klein was saying, which is the thing people on further to the left of Ezra Klein were saying before then, which is like, again, this Bam, like, yes, it would have made sense. And if someone really went hard in the paint like that and had that courage, they would have started on day one, but you would have been so ridiculed. You would have been so thrashed in the media. And you know what? The examples you kind of have are, maybe they didn't start in day one, but the people we knew who were running like third party outside the Democratic Party, like they never had a chance. But name a Democrat who is like a named Democrat who has a chance, who should have and would have actually had the balls to go forward.
Well, no, I honestly feel like it would have to been it would have had to have been a situation.
Bernie,
where,
old man Bernie, heart attack Bernie.
well, no. I think it could have it would have had to have been a situation where like Biden comes into office, and like a little bit after that, it's like this is my guy. Now, I'm the only person I can really think of that like has a chance. There is Bernie, kinda, because I really do think America is very anti-Semitic, but Gavin Newsom. If Gavin Newsom said if he was like handpicked by or not handpicked or whatever, he's like Joe Biden's like this is my guy, but he's also the governor, so I don't know like how much you can really like get out there and campaign and stuff while you're the governor back then. Now, obviously,
especially a big state too.
Obviously, Ron DeSantis did it, and it was fine, whatever, I guess, until he didn't. But like,
you mean his wife? He did it.
He would have had to have started early, and I don't think he wanted to run this time. Honestly, like it doesn't seem like he did. It seems like he does next time, but not this time.
And as we know, like a lot of these Democratic Party, like there's people there that observe statistics and all that stuff. And I'm sure when we first saw Kamala getting some airtime, it wasn't received very well. It wasn't getting received very well. It was overall negative, and I think they were like, "Dude, let's just nuke this. Like, it's not gonna work." But I think that would have been an opportune time, especially for someone like Gavin, if he stepped up. I think Gavin kind of was messing around a little bit when he's setting up the debates or whatever. I think he was just kind of testing the waters because the political climate was hot around that time. It was good for him to just put his face out there, did a little debates. That's good. Like that's a good move. It tells me obviously there's some kind of strategy involved there. That's some kind of strategy at some point.
Gavin Newsom was debating potentially his future opponent.
Yeah, I mean, and that was a good move because that was before DeSantis looked
and his current cuckold.
That was when DeSantis was like pushing heavy Twitter ads, and his name was all over the place a lot. So it was a good time to talk to get that little debate stuff going.
Yeah, Gavin Newsom doesn't have the balls to go against the Democratic Party unless he had Joe Biden's blessing. Like you said, if there was someone who was like, but then Kamala Harris is like, maybe Kamala Harris doesn't do that, but the Black Woman Coalition goes, Gavin Newsom over Kamala Harris, your vice president?
I feel you, but like, I think that these people behind closed doors are smart enough. Like, honestly, I feel like, being the vice president is not like the best way to get elected president, really. But like, also like, I mean, now, we had some vice presidents get elected, but like
they care about turns, and this party is very like identity politics.
I agree.
It's been a while.
I agree, but I think these people behind closed doors, they know about like electioneering and politicking enough to know that Kamala Harris is going to have a really hard time being elected president in this country, yo. Like, I'm sorry. If she's running against Ron DeSantis, I think Ron DeSantis wins. I honestly
really?
do.
Not like decimate her.
I don't know about decimate, but like
I agree.
I don't think
like just
decimate her.
Given the electoral college, listen, I don't know about decimate, but just given the electoral college already favoring Republicans, and then just giving that she's a Black woman,
it's tough.
We're done. And then
yes, dude.
Come on, he fell off mega heavy.
Caesar, there's like people have a deep disdain for Black people and for Black women.
There are people who will not vote.
I don't
like if they hate DeSantis. There are people who will not vote versus vote for Kamala Harris.
Yeah, dude. Like Caesar,
DeSantis didn't even do like. It's not like even when we saw financial and planning efforts towards advertising himself, it was so ghetto. Like it was so whack. Like it wasn't even like it was done right. Like it looks like it was like done like some kind of job on Fiverr. Like. What are we talking about?
But also think about this too. Like
you became a laughingstock.
People talk about the Black vote, and it is significant in certain places, but it's not like a big.
You think DeSantis gets the Black vote over Kamala?
I think that DeSantis is gonna do a lot for the black male vote, probably.
That's crazy.
I just honestly I can't see it right now, dude. Like I can't see.
No, I don't think
black
she would
women-
right now.
Yeah, but maybe in the future. And I think she would have done better, possibly by not being the vice president, because that's just such a tucked away role.
Okay, Biden wins. Let's say Biden wins this.
Yeah.
Elections cycle starts up. They start deciding who's going to be candidates. Do you think we see Kamala enter that to try to become president?
Yeah.
You think she'll go for it?
What do you think?
Wait,
Dan?
sorry,
think so.
restate the scenario, C's.
Let's
Kamala
say
gonna run?
Biden wins. Biden wins presidency. Here we go. We're going to start over again. Who's going to become president? Do you think one of the candidates? Do you think Kamala steps up and becomes a candidate to be in that primary?
I'm sorry to be pedantic, but before I answer your question, is the scenario
Okay,
Joe
Donald.
Oh, here you go, Trump.
Biden? Okay, so Joe Biden becomes president. Is the scenario that he finishes his second term,
Yes.
Yes.
or does it not matter? Or does it matter?
No,
No, he finishes. He finishes.
he finishes. He does another 4 years. He's
Okay.
89 or whatever. Yeah.
And bam, your opinion was yes.
Yes.
Same.
Really? You think she?
Yeah,
You think
yeah.
she goes
Okay.
for it? Why?
Here's the
Why
question.
hasn't she been?
Because
moving?
Joe
She
Biden
hasn't
went
even
for
moved at
because
all.
Joe Biden went because Joe Biden went for vice president Joe Biden went for president after Obama, and
I mean, that's a totally
that
different
move
scenario.
you don't make on your first term.
Okay, here's the question, Dan.
Biden's a vet though.
If she's running in 2028, is Gavin Newsom running against her?
Oh, absolutely.
Your
Oh,
boy,
Dan, Dan's
Absolutely.
already ready to vote for
Dan.
her.
Dan.
I hope so.
Who are you voting for? Kamala or Dan?
Do you vote for the black woman or the slick-haired white guy, Dan?
Who's the Republican?
Nikki Haley.
Because if Condoleezza Rice throws her hat in the ring, then we got a ball game. Condi versus Kamala.
I do
Think
respect the
about-
gap too.
Think about bringing her back for Big Three, like bring her back out of retirement.
I haven't
She's-
seen
she's a great
Condoleezza
piano
Rice
player.
speak in centuries.
She had a Exxon oil tanker named after her.
That's kind of hard.
She did.
I'm not gonna lie. That's kind of hard. That's kind of hard.
Okay, I mean, honestly, I feel like
No, so like in a primary, I hope to God someone to the left is in there.
Beto,
And I
Beto,
Bet on Beto, baby.
Beto's left of them.
I
He
hope that
actually
someone.
is.
Okay, so let me just describe how I want it to go. I don't want the 2028 primaries to go. One, I want them to exist. I want them, all of us, to be alive. Second,
Boring.
second, I want the establishment vote to be split, and I want the left vote to coalesce around one person, one
that's
trustworthy
cute.
person.
And who?
Like-
That's
Yeah,
cute.
who is that though? Who is that though? Who's the left?
I want to
Who
know
are
what
we
our options
hugging?
are besides Beto O'Rourke, Kamala Harris, and
That
Gavin
name was kind
Newsom.
of Hispanic, huh?
No, that name was kind of Polish.
Okay, I
I
mean,
Hispanic flavor on there. I heard that.
okay. I mean, honestly, I don't know if Beto's going to run 2028. I hope he does.
I hope he doesn't.
I hope he does.
That man has a stench of failure. Is he gonna
You-
do another? He's gonna do
Yeah.
another magazine cover.
Dan, I know who you want to run. You want Pete Buttigieg to run.
Yes, he
Yes.
does. Say it,
Yes.
dude. You want Pete Buttigieg, dude. Our king of transportation.
Because a white man is electable,
trans.
even if he's gay. As long
Ooh,
as it's
that's a good
not-
question. That's a good question. Who's more electable, Pete or Kamala? That's a good question.
Oh, shit.
I think Pete Buttigieg, because we're at the point.
Damn,
Yes,
the white gay
yes.
man wins over the black
Yes,
woman in
you
America.
want to know why? You want to know why?
Damn.
Because I've been to WeHo Pride,
Oh, Jesus.
Oh my god.
and you have plenty of gay white men
And
who
WeHo.
are who live in WeHo and who live in all these liberal places, and they're liberal to some things, not liberal to brown people, and their issues,
They don't like
especially
black women, huh?
especially if it lowers their property taxes. And you know what? They've all got relatives in the Midwest. They've all got relatives that they move across the country away from who live in these other places. And you know what? By this point, they're used to their gay male white or gay or lesbian, female white, well-to-do, son or daughter or whatever, not trans, but like well-to-do whatever white cis son or daughter who's gay or lesbian or bi or whatever, who's living on the coast. We've had enough time for that. Okay, Pete Buttigieg is, and he's educated. He talks like a smart person. Look, even though he's into butt sex, he just speaks so well. Kamala Harris, even her dad says that she's a druggie.
I can imagine them wanting to vote for Pete because they're like, yeah, my parents are over there telling me how great Kamala is. Fuck that, I'm voting for Pete.
Okay, Dan, you've been to WeHo Pride, but you haven't been to Atlanta Pride, though.
Yeah, but this isn't about if Janelle Monáe could win for president. So...
That was a good one.
Damn, Bam, it sounds like you vote for Pete too. Damn.
No, I wouldn't vote for Pete over Kamala. But I'm just
okay.
So
I kind
of think Kamala.
You voted for 12?
I think Kamala's more electable.
So here's the thing. Okay, so you think Kamala is more electable?
I do.
Let me pull the Hispanic card and let me pull like the absolute fantasy card, right? There's a lot of good reason to believe within the next 2 to 4 to 8 years, the person I'm going to name makes the jump to Senate. But what if AOC runs for president?
Are you asking if she's more electable than them too?
Yeah. In 2028, if she's a primary candidate and she says, I'm just going to do the damn thing because the last
Senate just goes for it. Fuck it.
Yeah. How about this? Let me think about it. Caesar will just fly off the cuff. He don't really care to be thoughtful. So why don't you, Caesar?
I got called a Hispanic, and now I'm a non-thoughtful immigrant. What else, dog? Tell me
a
more.
Criminal. A criminal.
I didn't know this was. We're live on Rumble. What else did I do?
And you got a Republican shirt.
You know who I'm voting.
Okay, Caesar, you answer first, and let me ponder on it. For a second.
Stop dissing me while you think. I don't need you to diss me to give you time to think. In your military fatigues. Anyways,
and then Bam, before you answer, and when C's finishes, I'm gonna read through some comments as well.
Okay.
If we're, I can't believe I need to say this, but come on, dog. Like, you're really gonna ask me if I gotta pick between Kamala or Pete versus AOC?
No, she's not. He's not asking who you're gonna pick. Who's more electable?
Oh, who's more electable between those two?
Yeah. Those three.
A gay white man with a lot of political experience.
Okay.
A black woman with a lot of political experience. Or a
bartender.
A Latina in Congress who's really good at fundraising for the Democrats. Who what she lacks in political experience, she self-identifies as a Latina, because that was the entire fucking point I was making, you assholes. If she makes up for her lack of experience in actual movement power like Bernie Sanders has, and combines that with fundraising and energy and leftening, most people have given up on politics type of move here. That's the stakes we're kind of putting out there. See, so what do you think?
I think it's really a massive stretch that AOC. It would honestly be really impressive, but it's a massive stretch. I think if AOC doesn't get like some kind of Senate position before this happens, so I would vote that way. But I think it would be like Kamala. I think Kamala still would be better, because I really think that they need that Senate experience.
Okay, wait, Caesar. I don't know. Okay, he's asking who's more electable, like in the country. Who do you think the country is going to vote for more between
those three? I still think it would be Kamala. I think Kamala would win still. I think
rank them. Kamala.
Dude, I'm gonna keep it real, dog. AOC, even to us, it's kind of whatever, but she's very divisive for people in this country. Like that, there's people that like vehemently hate her, and then people that really like her, or people that are just kind of like annoyed by her. But that hate is strong. I think that hate is stronger than how they feel about those other two.
Challenge. Sorry, C's, but is that different for any politician? At this point,
I mean, I think it's a little bit different if you're someone who's seen as part of. She'd be the first person other than Bernie who's been there forever. That's from like the squad that comes out and tries to run for election. Like other than Biden, but I mean, other than Sanders, that doesn't really count though because he's been trying to do this for a long time. I think the ranking for America's ranking would be number 1 Kamala, number 2 Pete, number 3 AOC. That's not how I would vote, but I think that would be where America stands.
Okay, I completely
hate that though. I hate that, by the way.
I honestly think AOC would be top.
Really?
Then over Kamala.
People really.
Would there be video?
Dog.
Stop it. You did the stretch thing was too much.
I'm sorry.
Caesar didn't catch it, but that was too much.
I'm sorry. I'm really in. I denounce and reject myself. That's just like absolutely inappropriate.
It's okay.
Yeah.
Nobody's here.
I would on this time.
I would say AOC, then Kamala, then Pete. I can't see like obviously Pete like doesn't barely.
Pete really would go that crazy?
I think Pete is third. I like honestly when it comes down to it, I hate this. I hate this. I'm gonna say it, and I hate it so much. People are gonna be like, we look weak if we elect a gay dude. That's how that shit's gonna go, dog. Like, there's gonna be so many people. It's like, how weak do we look, dude? Like, the world's gonna laugh.
Average American thought, like the average American thinks that.
A lot of people, dude. Sadly, now then, Kamala and AOC, 100% AOC is very divisive, but there's also like. Although it's like the saying in entertainment business, is also the same in politics to an extent. Any publicity, all publicity.
She's really popular. She is really, really popular.
She's got like a lot of name recognition.
Very much. Huge name recognition.
On a national level that obviously Kamala has to some extent. She ran for president and she's a vice president.
But AOC has it across the board on age ranges way more than Kamala.
But Kamala Harris has statistically arrested 1 in 7 Americans. So she has a lot of name recognition.
And I know I'm gonna let you go back real quick, but I'm saying like real quick, even people that are, let's say that we're talking about, it's not now, right? Let's say it's 4 years from now. That's a lot of people turning 18 to vote too that know AOC based upon social media, all that stuff, and all the stuff she's involved with on online and stuff, way more than Kamala. Kamala's damn near. People probably would have. You could argue with some teenagers now, they couldn't even spot Kamala in like a lineup of pictures you should of people, but they'll spot AOC in a second. She's a recognizable face in America.
I would imagine that AOC. I would imagine that AOC is like on TikTok.
She's on streaming services. She's all over the place. Yeah.
So I'm going to put AOC over Kamala, and also she has the advantage of not being black. Now Kamala Harris has the advantage of not being like a tried and true Black American. She has that advantage.
A tried and true.
Like she's not from like her dad's Jamaican and her mom's Indian.
Oh.
No, I'm not even trying to be funny. I'm not trying to be funny.
This is major erasure here.
No.
Y'all took me in such bad faith when I was doing my thing. I'm gonna give y'all a smoke. No.
Can I
Bam is trying to erase this. No, you can't. Okay, yeah, you can.
There is a difference when it comes to like the vitriol between like a Black American that's like from America and then the Black people that are not like from quote unquote from America. Like there is a difference, and that's been like historically the case. Like the Black people that and sometimes it can even be some clashes within them communities, but the Black people that are not like quote unquote American or like American background can have a different experience and be looked at differently than Black people like that are from America. You know, it's just
I think you're right about the gay thing with Pete. I think you're right about that in America.
It sucks.
I want to really fast read some comments, but Bam, continue afterwards.
Go ahead because I'm gonna use my.
Cool. Do that.
She's military pants?
Bad Lefty calling me out for my misogynoir. But I mean, there's misogynoir. I don't know what the Latin. I don't know what the other versions of misogyny are for different races, but teach me and I'll figure them out. No, I'm just kidding. Misogyny is bad. I have an anecdote to share about that personally, but I won't do that right now. I'll say it for maybe later. I want to hear what other people were saying in the comments though. Biden saying he might retire so that Kamala can pardon Hunter. Anti-Corbett is also saying that Harris and Newsom are close though. Let's see.
How close?
Mayo, even not salt, Pete. Anti-corporatist. I definitely disagree with this. AOC could have won this time. I definitely don't, especially right now. Like the left is. Go ahead, Cease.
No, you're right. Like you're about to say that. I think, especially with Israel and everything that happened, I think this is the first time I've seen in a while, even from the left. AOC like took some big hits. Like she took some big hits. Like I think people started to we were a lot of, especially in the left, a lot of people were like, yeah, but like how hard is she?
There
really
were different
going?
things here and there that are like, unfortunately, because of the sands of time and things we're doing in
we're like, well,
news,
she kind of has to play the game. She has to play the game, right? Like,
yeah, but like, there's foreign policy things we didn't like. There was a bunch of different stuff, but there was certain stands
she was on the good part of things we do like. So we're like, okay, well, she is going hard for this stuff like landlord laws and all that. Okay,
yeah, like if we did like a report card for all the political candidates based on how lefty they were, like as much as we qualm here and there, like Bernie Sanders and AOC would probably be the best performing in Congress. If there's another one, like
easily, even
please
to the
show
most
me.
far of left people, easily.
Yeah, and like there are people who are like, well, we give it up on Congress, and they're like, okay, then stop having this conversation with me.
Yeah,
but I say all of that to say that there's some certain really good stances, like standing up with Ilhan Omar and Rashida Tlaib, that she's, and it's like a number of different other folks who like are really trying to stand up in this moment for we're not anti-Semitic, or we're not going to fall for these anti-Semitic attacks, but we need to speak up for the rights of Palestinians. And she's also made really terrible moves. Like the thing that a lot of people who are younger and watch social media are going to remember a lot of when it comes to AOC. Bam, we're talking about the idea of if AOC ran this time. And we're at the point like the people who would be paying attention to AOC will also be able to really quickly see and also resonate with that video she did, that live, with the two like supposed scholars on like Zionism and anti-Semitism. And they were saying all these things like, oh, anti-Zionism is actually anti-Semitism. Like it's like in name only. And AOC was like affirming that language and platforming that stuff, and not doing it in like a debating sense, but she was like, quote unquote playing that game to a point that I think should be like a red line if you're going to advocate for the Palestinians in this moment, to accept the Zionist definition of anti-Zionism that constantly tries to inflate the state of Israel with Jewish identity itself. It's the dangerous part of this, the conflation.
Dan, I have a question for you. We just watched this debate right now, right? And Bam, I ask you too. You sub out Biden, AOC's on that panel. After we saw how Trump talked right now, you can say with 100% sure that she wouldn't beat Trump, like especially in these straight up debates, like especially seeing how like all over the place Trump was and jump. You don't think she would kind of go in on these debates? Like not even a little bit. I feel like she would kind of go in.
No, she's a bartender from New York. Like this is not.
She would shit on him literally.
She would destroy him in the debate, but in the votes, she's gonna lose.
Yeah.
Like
100%. You feel that like 100%.
100%.
Damn.
AOC needs runway, which if I were coaching her on her campaign, listen, I don't know who else is like the furthest left, most likely to get the farthest in our country right now politically. So let's, for the sake of conversation, put all of our cards on AOC. I don't know if it's even a good idea to have her running as soon as 2028. I think she should get into the Senate. I think she should get into the Senate first. I think she should.
You got to put a legwork in Senate, dog.
I think she's got to get reelected at least once. Technically Obama didn't, but And Obama got a lot of those. He's too young. I remember the McCain ad was, he's the biggest celebrity in the world, but is he ready to lead? Right, which AOC is definitely going to get, except they're going to dub the ad in Spanish too. And so that one was meant to be a little racially charged. But yeah, I think if AOC plays her cards right, then she can be, you know, and if there's an America to speak of in the 2030s, like, I don't know, let me think about that election, 2036, maybe 2040, she is
2040.
You know what's gonna
two Senate terms. She needs to be reelected at least once, I think.
I don't necessarily agree that she needs to be reelected once, but this is the thing. She's 34. She's turning 35 in this October.
40 is the minimum, right?
35 is the minimum.
35, but
and you have to be 35 when you're inaugurated. So yes, she could have run this time.
Yeah, the thing that I'm thinking about, she's not married. She don't have any kids. That's a bad look in this conservative ass country. I really hope that she don't have no kids.
I mean, dog.
I think she's about to get married. Like,
Trump literally was messing with somebody while his wife was pregnant. Like, what? Do they really care?
He's a white man.
He's a man.
He can do whatever he wants.
Donald Trump is not put to the same standard of like any politician, really.
Right.
Like, Josh Hawley or JD Vance, folks who have been kicked around as potential Trump VPs, right? Like, they couldn't even
engage
that stuff.
Right. No, yeah. Honestly, and obviously, I'm not saying that for myself. Like, obviously.
Yeah,
we're talking in the, like, you know, election year,
as an American. Like, damn, you're overtaking her campaign. Like, what do you think is her best way? Like, when would be ideal time for her?
Marry a white guy.
She's engaged to one.
She's engaged to a white guy.
Okay,
yes.
Do that.
And that's already plus 20.
That's how Kamala Harris got.
And marry a white dude and
bonus points. Never mind.
We're never getting press passes.
I'm just whatever. I'm just thinking about, like,
fuck them. They're not interesting anyways.
I'm just thinking about her, like, having children. Like, I really don't want her to. But like, let me just be very clear. This is not me.
Okay.
This is how politics is in this country. Like, it's so hard for me to even think like somebody can.
Bam says you're not allowed to have kids, especially if you're a woman.
You need to be a good Christian married woman with babies.
Bam wants a 10-week abortion ban in places that vote blue, like specifically in places that have voted blue the last 3 elections.
I want you to
10-week ban.
Have that baby, then we're gonna kill it, like Trump said.
We're gonna get a chef to chop it up into little pieces, like it's sashimi.
18 million babies.
But no, like those are the things. Like, because honestly,
he and I have to definitely debate. That's what I love.
Yeah, I just feel like having a child is just gonna derail her, and I want her. Like, I like her as a politician, and I want her to do. She seems like a go-getter. I want her to get to wherever she wants to go. Having a kid is just going to derail that and be kind of whack. So
hey, listen, the Obamas did it. The Clintons did it. I mean, like, those kids are obviously not going to be in the best environment, but like,
yeah,
you get childcare. You have a stay-at-home dad.
But she's going to be the person though. Like, she's got to carry the kid, and you know what I mean? Like, it's just a lot of shit that comes with that.
Which is something she might be able to do if she's, like, you know, gets a Senate election under her belt.
She might see that as a challenge, though.
Yeah, no, I honestly...
I overall agree with you, Bam, but I also think that, like, I don't think... It's a challenge of will, and it'll be, like, unprecedented because this is a really weird country. And also politicians in general, I think, you know, across the globe that are women that have been elected for, you know, like, major countries. I don't think they've also been elected during a pregnancy just because of, like, a lot of that perception from other women as well as men.
Right. Also, this
country, you're gonna say something.
I'll just say this country is like, it's not more sexist than every country. Like, obviously, like, I think we're less sexist than Pakistan, but like, it's like
You can drive to
weird.
Saudi Arabia now, by the way. I just want to say that.
This is true. And I'm saying that because Pakistan has had a woman president.
Just don't raise your voice when you're at the rental car place.
Now, she did get shot in the street and assassinated. They shot her in the head in the street. I've seen the video, but she did get elected. But she also had
semantics, man.
She'd have name recognition because one of her parents was a president. And also, when she showed up at some military base, she was like, "I didn't even know we had this stuff here."
Let's get it popping.
But go ahead, Caesar. What were you gonna say?
I will say the best thing it's funny we're talking about AOC. The best thing that could actually happen to AOC, even set her up in the future, is these two guys running. Like these two old guys, decrepit humans running, not those two black jobs on the screen. Talk about the two people on CNN, the white guys, the black jobs with a Z. Those two guys running I think that only adds fuel to the fire for someone like AOC to come in hot in the future, because I think that no matter who wins, people are gonna have that sour taste of, I can't believe we had to go through these two guys, either one of them again. Like it's a rerun no matter who wins. Like we've already seen them both as president. And I think that if it was California's president, it would have been, California's governor to run, it would have been a little bit different, maybe a little bit different in the future for her. It might have derailed her for longer. She might have to do that Senate run that Dan's talking about. Not having that opposition right now is just these two. That can set her up for a sooner run, in my opinion. I think personally, in my opinion.
Politics it's dirty.
It's really a game. It's a game, dog.
It's dirty. It's a game, and we'll see. Like if she wants to run in 2028, she's probably gonna have to run against Kamala. They're gonna make it into a cat fight.
Damn, you think she could even get it cracking without Senate? Really? Just fuck it.
She can run.
Fuck it. I mean, it's not like she needs the popularity. She really doesn't.
No. But damn,
they're gonna be like, what is your decision on global issues though? Like they're gonna be like, what
was Obama's? He was a senator. And
Obama wasn't even a one-term senator. He was like, okay, I got elected. Let me start planning my presidential.
Let's get it cracking. Literally. Smart move. I mean, shit, it worked.
But again, that was it worked for him. But that was Obama is.
What did we come off of though?
B.
What did we come off of before that? Would it need to be Trump to win for her to get it cracking like that?
Well, I was going to say, also, he was running against Hillary Clinton in that primary, and she has so much negative energy around her. That's just so negative. So maybe even the what is it? DNC?
Yeah.
Or DCCC or whoever these fucking ghouls are, they might have been looking at it like, damn, dude, we got a better chance with him than we do with her.
Oh no! Yeah. Plus, and the Democratic Party, I remember this specifically at the time, was having their own, Southern strategy internal moment, because they saw as the primary in between Obama and Hillary was getting more intense and the primary votes were being caught in, that Bill Clinton as a surrogate and Hillary Clinton as a candidate's angle was to play to the racists who were still in the remaining Democratic primary states, right? So the DNC similarly was probably like, okay, well, let the chips fall where they may vote wise, but this also might not be a thing of how we want to look at, black voters weren't the for sure coalition for Democrats, as seen as they were post Obama, right? That was a thing that the DNC must have had to think about as well. And, continues to the, like I said, to the point of a identity politics kind of bias, but, no, I think this is a good conversation. We spent a lot of time on AOC. I have a question. Actually, I have a curveball that's related to everything I'm doing. So the the clip I keep playing where Ben Shapiro saying,
"Let's get it popping.
Let's get it popping. Let's get it popping," is actually because he was dancing on the grave that is Jamal Bowman's campaign. And Jamal Bowman's district got redistricted to hell. He was first elected mostly as a senator from the Bronx. Now he's mostly elected as a senator from a tiny part of the Bronx and most of the wealthier suburbs that are immediately outside of New York, but away from the darks. And so
is that Westchester over there or something like that?
Yeah, places like that. And so you had Latimer or something like that who was running against him. And AIPAC put in a lot of money into that campaign, and they didn't really mention a lot of stuff about his, take on his fairly strong stance on things relating to Gaza. And once again, there are people on the left who will fairly, but without a lot of big picture thinking, celebrate that because Jamal Bowman didn't have like a perfect voting record and wasn't trying to single-handedly assassinate Joe Biden every single day he was in Congress. Therefore have decided that it was good that Jamal Bowman lost to someone like Latimer, who did the same sort of wink and nod racism. And I'm really dodging a bullet with the whole wink and nod thing. But Latimer did the whole like wink and nod racism thing that Hillary Clinton was doing to people in the suburbs. Like Jamal Bowman was talking about, look at all of the different services that I've gotten for people in the city. Look at all the things I'm doing for people. And Jamal Bowman was specifically talking to Black Americans, to things like that. And Latimer was going, because they're Democrats, like, oh yeah, he's doing great stuff for people, but not you people, not you guys. Like that was pretty much his campaign strategy. And AIPAC was just, tunneling more money than has ever been spent in a congressional race to this. I think that's the curveball, is that like, if someone like AOC is running, the most amount of money that has ever been spent on a presidential campaign to date, tripled, is cheaper than the taxes that AOC would advocate for, and a coalition that an ascendant AOC would be able to bring in with her if she were elected. And so you better believe that like money will be spent against that campaign. And it won't just be like TV ads dollars, it won't just be like digital ads dollars on the internet. It'll be people paid to knock on doors. It'll be people paid more money than they already are right now to say even dumber things and basically just say, like, this is the Red Scare. It's the, the immigrant Mexican lady is going to cause communism. Like, it's just like, it's going to be that thing. Like, I'm being purposely racist there. Like that's what it's going to look like. It's going to be the worst. You think she can, do you think she can survive that even in the Democratic primary?
I personally think because I just say things off the cuff. Bam says I don't think about anything. I think she has some of the most modern like marketing I've seen from like a team. Like her team, they seem to do some really good marketing. I think that she could do it, and I think especially when it comes to like raising funds, I think her campaign will kind of go crazy, especially like raising money and all that. I think she could surpass that personally. I mean, personally,
I think because she can go head. I think because she's not afraid to go head on to these kind of things, and I think she's good at clapping back most of the time, and she also knows when to apply more pressure versus when to go back and go for an easier tone. Yeah. I think there's a chance that like, Bernie Sanders was also not afraid to like get some of that smoke, right?
Exactly.
Caesar just has a crush on her also.
Bam, what do you think?
I think Caesar's look at this face he's making right now. Look at that. Look at it. There it is.
This is crazy, dude. It's an engaged woman. How dare you?
Oh no. I think I think like when you stretch it out is really
yo dog. Who had the crush?
How come you heard me and not Dan?
I had the crush.
No, honestly, I think
Bambi dropping landmines.
I don't know how Caesar heard me but not Dan say it twice. Oh no, when Dan reacted twice. But anyway, no, I think that she can do it. I think it just depends on who she's running against, honestly. Yeah. Like,
and what happens, I think a lot of right now will lead to that. I agree with you 100%.
Yeah, it's just who she's running against, and for sure, there's gonna be like a lot of the communists, whatever. There's gonna be a lot of that, but there's gonna be a lot of that no matter who runs. Against
one of the smarter things Pete Buttigieg has ever said. Like they're gonna call Pete Buttigieg a communist. They're gonna call Bernie Sanders a communist. They're gonna call Joe Biden a communist. Like
it's like it's their new talking point.
A radical leftist. Yeah. And it'll hit different with AOC because she is a bit more radical than these guys. Or she's like the face of it. Right. She's the face of like what radical is, I guess
in America.
But
in elected office.
Yeah, right.
Not like by our terms, by like America's terms, basically.
Right. But I do feel like when I'm thinking about young Gavin, Dan's number one guy.
Dan don't got a crush on him, but I got a crush on AOC.
That one might be tough.
Who couldn't
But-
Gavin fuck? Honestly, like let's be real.
Yeah, you know,
No.
if he's circumcised,
Hey, man.
Catch sees on one of those nails painted evenings, and we might.
oh no,
Gavin's real smooth.
I mean, how, Captain? Are they hiring? Is this party hiring? What's up?
Yeah. I it would be nice for us to have some better options than Kamala and Pete Buttigieg in 2028.
But also, I even think we feel that way because I felt like we haven't had an option in a long time. I feel like it's been so long because this just automatically transferred to Biden that it really didn't feel like we got like a fair process of like it just kind of just happened, dog.
Well, 2020 felt like interesting and it felt good until February of 2020.
Until black people showed up and put Joe Biden there. Because honestly, dude, it was South Carolina.
Yeah.
It was them black states. They gave Joe Biden that.
Don't say them black states. Don't say that.
It was the black jobs.
It was the blacks.
No. Okay, so South Carolina was the last state before Super Tuesday. And Jim Clyburn and Joe Biden were close friends. Jim Clyburn was Joe Biden's boy, if you will, right?
Oh, don't do that.
Come on, Dan. Come on, dog. Not the boy.
And it's another case of like, I think Bernie and his surrogates should have done a better job, and that campaign should have been run in a lot of different ways to deal with the South Carolina problems. That was a very easy problem. And Bernie had the momentum before South Carolina. And
he did. He was getting cracked.
He had a good amount of momentum going into Super Tuesday until on the heels of South Carolina, Klobuchar and Pete Buttigieg dropped out and endorsed Joe Biden with Beto O'Rourke on stage with all of them, if I remember correctly. And all going, we need to coalesce and we all need to unite around Joe Biden.
Fuck.
And Elizabeth Warren going, well, I still have a chance. And Tulsi Gabbard going, we need to coalesce around Joe Biden.
Don't ever
Dog, it was. I swear to God, that was such a moment. That was like a massive shift. It was like, damn, it's really GG now. That's kind of crazy.
And Pete Buttigieg looking at Bernie Sanders going like,
what do you want me to do?
Well,
here?
and Pete was just like, if I get out now, I could probably finesse a cabinet position. Good luck, little fuck.
Anti-corporatist just said that Jill Stein is doing a debate response. Dan, find it. We need it on the screen right now. We need the Jill Stein debate response.
I love me some Jill.
I am joking very hard right now.
Oh, thank God.
Put Jill on the screen.
I'm joking hard right now. That is
live from UC Irvine.
Like if Claudia De La Cruz gets like 5% of the vote, I'll be so happy. But like, it's not even gonna happen.
No.